All right. So typically, the holidays are a hard time for me, or have been a hard time for me, because somehow, for whatever reason, around these days, something huge, big transitions have happened in my life in the last years. And so, unfortunately, our bodies have memory the same way that our muscles have memory. And so when we go back to working out, our muscles remember and they puff up right again. The same way with our bodies and our feelings, they have memory. And so, if there was something that we were experiencing at whatever point, and maybe we haven't found a way to break the pattern, then our bodies remember what we were feeling at certain times of the years ago, and things like this happen. Anyways, typically Christmas is my favorite holiday. Very much so. Okay, like it is. But this year I decided that I was not going to decorate. I didn't feel very jolly. And in Grinch spirit, I decided not to decorate. The last 2 years I've decorated Grinchmas, and that's still gonna be my thing. But this year I didn't feel like it, and I was like, I am going to honor my feelings and myself by not doing that because I want to listen to myself. I do practice a lot of listening to myself and how I'm feeling and being in tune with my emotions, and so that's what I'm doing. It is actually going to be my second year away from home, if you will. And not to like sound mean or anything, but it's not really the fact that I miss my family. I know to a lot of people that have moved away from their families, they kind of feel like your family isn't together. But contrary to maybe how other people feel, I don't ever remember really celebrating the holidays with my direct family as a family. Like, yes, of course, we had dinner and we made sure, like, my mom always made sure to have Thanksgiving dinner for us and Christmas dinner for us. But growing up, since we were a super small family, a family of four, it wasn't really like a jolly time. And so now that I'm here in Arizona, I do have to work the day before and the day after Thanksgiving. And then I also have to work the day before and the day after Christmas and New Year's. And so, it lands like right in the middle of the week. So it happens to land on a day where it's like I can't take the weekend off, or I can't take whatever days off to like go anywhere. So I'm like, all right, whatever. We are going to work with it. And so I'm working with my holiday feelings and continuing to show up for myself. And showing up for myself means that I am going to the gym. For those of you guys that work in an office job, you kind of understand that the week of Thanksgiving is kind of weird because you either have no work or you have a lot of work to do, and everyone's like in holiday mode and it's just kind of hectic. Tomorrow we're supposed to be having a potluck for work, and typically for potlucks at work I'm a little weirded out just because some people aren't as clean, some people have animals and they just do what they do. I know I'm a very clean person, but I didn't really volunteer to make anything because, again, I'm not really in the holiday spirit. I was talking to a friend yesterday, and her man were like on the phone with me, and they were like, hey, like pull through, like we're on Thanksgiving, and like they were inviting me, and I love that I have places to go to, and I love that people want me around, and I have so much love around me. But I literally was so honest with her, and I told her yesterday, I was like, you know what? I was like, just today, I was just crying because I've literally been crying every day. I'm like, I was crying and I was thinking about the fact that I think I'm just going to stay home. Like, I think I'm just going to stay home and like just do nothing. I've done that before in the past, by the way, even when I lived in California. There was a Thanksgiving where like I truly didn't want to hang out with my family. I don't like to be a hypocrite. And so if I'm having an issue with someone, or if I don't want to bring the energy down because of something that I'm feeling, then I rather just like withdraw myself. And I remember that year I was like, I don't want to have dinner with you guys. Like, yeah, I'm thankful for you, and yeah, I'm thankful for the life, but I feel very hypocritical sitting at the table with all of you guys while we are ignoring the elephant in the room, and it's just not going to happen. So I'm very straightforward with everyone in my life. And I remember at the time I was like, yeah, like I just don't want to. And I didn't. I didn't go. And this is not me trying to convince you to, do anything other than what you want to do on this holiday. But it is to, I guess, share my experience and to tell you that it wouldn't be the first time that I'm by myself. But that doesn't mean that emotions don't run through my body and that my body doesn't remember things and that there's just, so much happening in the background, even if I'm not talking about it. So it's kind of funny because I do recognize that a lot of the times in not being open or vulnerable with people, they don't know that there is something wrong. But then the funny thing about me is that if you know me in real life and you know my energy and how much I carry it and like how I do things and you observe, then you know that something's up. And it's actually funny because today somebody at work was like, Amy, what's up? Like, I noticed you walked by and like your energy was just not there. And I was like, do you really want to know? Because I will tell you, but I'm going to cry. And I literally like was like, I'm like, matter of fact, like my tears are already coming in. And he's like, no, 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 no. Like, da, 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 da. And he's like, you know what? I already asked. Like, just tell me. And I was honest with him, I was honest with him because, I don't do small talk. I don't care for small talk. And people, for the most part, when they ask you, how are you doing? They don't expect the truth, right? And none of us expect the truth because we've all been conditioned to like just small talk and be like, oh, good, how are you? And like you're dying inside. But this person obviously knew that something was up. And he is somebody that I know is not going to share stuff with anybody. And he's also somebody older that could potentially like help me process my thoughts and help me like, just kind of shift my energy a little bit. And thankfully he did, and like at some point we started laughing about other stuff and he's like, yay, like I'm glad that you said it because now like we ended up on another topic and like it shifted your energy. And I was like, honestly, thank you. I'm like, honestly, thank you. Because sometimes we just need somebody to come in and break that feeling that's just like pulling us in. You get what I'm saying? And so that's the reason why I'm about to go move my body. Because if I just lay here scrolling or just looking at Thanksgiving content or looking at the wall or just letting my mind think thoughts that I shouldn't be, then I'm just gonna sit here and cry. And I'd rather be lifting and crying because then at least like I can get some gains. So I'm gonna go to the gym. I figured since we're back on YouTube, I would kind of catch you guys up a little bit and hopefully know that, hey, like we feel a certain way, we may feel alone, we may be going through something, we may be going through a lot. A lot of things are happening simultaneously and two things can be true at the same time, right? Like I can be crying and then all of a sudden start laughing because something was funny and it got me out of that little funk. And so the same way that I'm feeling, I know that around this time, a lot of people are also feeling that. And so I'm sharing this with the hope that if you are on the other side and you are feeling any sort of way other than contentment and happiness and peace, that you know that you're not alone and that we at least have each other here to know that you're not going crazy and you're not the only one that's processing your emotions or trying to, or the only one that is crying, or the only one that wishes things look different, or another one that just wishes you had what maybe you don't have yet. I don't know what your struggle is. You don't know what my struggle is. But nonetheless, there are unspoken struggles that we all experience. And I think the best thing we can do for each other is to hold a safe space and to have grace for each other, and to really just understand that we're all experiencing life for the first time at the same time, and we're all doing the best that we can. So I'm gonna go move. When you're watching this, hopefully you get a little spark of I need to go move in whichever way, even if it's just stretching or going on a walk, or even if you're watching me at work, taking a little 5-minute walk in the parking lot to let the sun hit you and some fresh air. Whatever the situation is, try to move a little bit wherever you're at so that you can, shake some butt, release some energy. I'm gonna go to the gym. Well, good morning. Happy Thanksgiving. Today is 2 days after I started the vlog, or not the vlog, but like, just kind of talking to you guys a little bit. And let me just say that movement definitely helps. You may be crying while you're moving, but it still definitely helps. My heart is still very tender. I am still very tender. I am processing my emotions and I am navigating these holidays and my birthday and everything that I'm navigating at the same time in the most graceful way possible, quite frankly. No pun intended with my sweatshirt that I'm wearing. Stay graceful. Today I decided that I was going to go to the gym and I was going to go and get some coffee because one of my favorite coffee shops in Gilbert, which is Mythical Coffee, actually is open on Thanksgiving and it closes until 12. So I was like, okay, I am going to take myself to the gym and then I'm going to take myself to get coffee and then we'll figure out the rest of the day after that. The sun is shining. I started my day on a really good note. Grief, and I say grief not because I'm right now feeling grieving my dad. It has nothing to do with my dad actually, but just grief overall. Grief has a funny way of showing up and it has a funny way of just coming in at whichever time. It literally has absolutely no timestamp to be like, okay, I'm coming here, boom, okay, cry it out, all right, you're good now. It just doesn't. You could be having the most beautiful day ever. You can have a lot of energy and you can just be doing what you do. And then all of a sudden, thoughts come in. Aren't we crazy? And this happens to all of us, of course. Maybe you hear a song, maybe you see something, maybe you get reminded of whatever it is that you get reminded of, and then grief comes, sadness comes, depression comes in, and it just wants to take over. I've learned to stand in the sun or go out and take a walk whenever that happens. And so right now the sun is actually shining so bright. And to me, that's a reminder that no matter what, the sun will always come out. And it continues to come out. And I've been through enough things in my life to know that this shall pass and that this will not last forever. So anyways, I woke up and I'm here. I'm doing it. I wanted to come back and just let you guys know how much movement actually helps. Eating well, resting well. I couldn't this whole week I haven't even been able to fully rest. And I don't know why. I've been waking up in the middle of the night and I am up. Like I am completely up and I look at the time, but I make sure to like not grab my phone so that I don't start scrolling and then I make sure that I get to rest. And then because I wake up at 5 a.m. for work, I make sure that I do that so that I can have enough rest and then be able to go to work and have a good day the day after, right? Like you prep for certain things the days before. Well, last night I woke up at like 3:40 a.m. and I was like, well, I don't work tomorrow. And I don't have to be up at a specific time. And I guess I could just scroll. Like, why not? So I opened TikTok up and I scrolled like a few videos and I was like, no, this doesn't really fill my heart. Like, this isn't really fulfilling at all, literally. And so I left it at that. I stopped scrolling and then I was like, all right, I'm going to turn Netflix on. Stranger Things season 5 came out yesterday, I believe. And I made sure not to watch it yesterday because I was like, I'll probably have all day Thursday to like watch it and just kind of be here and like do my thing. And so that's actually what I may be doing later, or when I get home after the coffee shop. But it was nice. It was nice. I woke up at that time. And so I've been up since then. And then I watched a couple of episodes of Stranger Things and I just kind of hung out. And I read a beautiful message by a friend, who I actually met through online. And this is somebody that I have a lot of love for and somebody that I reach out to once in a while because I like to check in with her and just kind of say hello and, tell her that I'm thinking of her and pray for her and whatever else she has going on in her life. And, we share the sentiment. And so I received a very thought out and a very beautiful message written by her. And I guess I kind of want to read it to you guys because it made me feel very special and it made me feel very grateful that she's in my life in the capacity that she is. She's so cute. So she sends me a picture of a bouquet of flowers and she says, "Hi, Amy. You've been heavy on my mind lately. I saw one of your videos of I don't need a man to do X, Y, and Z, but I'll accept adding to it," or something like that. And not accepting what is below the standards we want and implement. Point being that I want to start getting monthly flowers for myself, but because of my tight budget, I couldn't this month. God really said, "Here you go, child." In this season of thankfulness, I want to tell you thank you for all the little nuggets of wisdom you drop on the internet, for showing me how you show up for yourself, and I can do the same. I'm gonna cry. For showing me how you show up for yourself, for checking in on me randomly whenever I cross your mind, sending you a big hug, and if you wanna cry, te acompaño. Such a beautiful message. Such a beautiful message, and it's something so beautiful to remember. It reminds me for sure the impact that's a lot of the times I forget that I have on other people. And I think when I feel like this is the times when I most want to retract and withdraw and go ghost and not show up, not because of you, but because of me. Because I know how my energy can shift rooms in a positive or in a negative way. And that's also the reason why a lot of the times I stop myself from even talking because unless I can help someone or unless I can breathe life into someone, then I prefer to not, right? But I have to remember also as a human that it is important for you guys to see some of these moments that I also struggle with because my life isn't always butterflies and rainbows, though I am a very positive being and I try for it to be as much as I can. Even in my own thoughts, I cut the thoughts short sometimes and I'm like, no, we're good. We're safe. We have us. We have health, we're loved, and there is so much love around us, right? Like, regardless of the circumstance, regardless of our thoughts, regardless of what it is that we're going through, whether it's a sickness, whether it's grieving because we lost someone in the physical form, whether we broke up with a friend, whether we lost a job, like, regardless of the circumstance that it's going on individually in your life, there is always something to be grateful for. There is always something to be thankful for and people to be thankful for. Because to me, I would not be where I am had it not been for God and the people that He sent. And to me, those people are angels, right? Like, whenever I speak or think of angels, I'm like, we all have angels in our lives that God sends to us that may not be white and literally have wings, but they do show up for us with little nudges of reminders and with love, and to remind us that we are loved and that even in our own imperfections and in our flaws, we still are whole and we still have each other. And I love the community that I've built and the community that we've built here because I've gotten really beautiful friendships out of it. And I've also, even for the silent people, the people that watch and a lot of the times may not comment, I pray for you guys too. And I thank you guys too, because literally on my way to the gym this morning, as I was just listening to Rihanna, actually, I was listening to some of her old music, and like I just started to pray, right? Like as the song is playing, but like I'm just like talking to God and I'm like thanking Him for everything. And of course, you guys were part of my prayer, as you always are, because you guys make an impact in my life as much, I hope, as I make in yours. And anybody in our reality, anybody next to us, anybody that we come across, whether it's at work, whether it's at the grocery store, whether it's at the park, at the gym. I continue to say this, but the smile is the best gift you can ever give someone. We all want to feel loved. We all want to feel cared for. We all want to feel seen. And sometimes we're too self-absorbed and we're not really paying attention. And I don't know. On this day, I'm very grateful. I'm very, very grateful for everyone and everything. I'm grateful for my able body. I'm grateful for my looks. I had to throw that in there. Because I just, I consider this dark humor. Like, you feel like shit, literally, but like, you just have to throw in a joke because, like, I'm just always going to have a joke, or like something to laugh at, like, right in my pocket, because that's just who I am. I could literally be crying and start laughing because why are we crying, right? Like, why? Why are we not shaking it off? Why are we not, like, like letting it off. And like sometimes you just need to do that. Sometimes you just need to shake it off. Sometimes you just need to breathe it out. Sometimes you need to scream. Sometimes you just need to put your windows down. And even if you just did your hair, like let your hair down and let the wind hit it. And like just let air hit your face. Let the sun breathe into your face. So much to be thankful for. So much to be thankful for. Next week, I turn 32. I am extremely excited for that. Just to be 1 year older, just to be a little more wiser. I'm very grateful for all of the experiences from this year, for everything that I've lived, for my new reality here in Arizona, for everything that I've overcome, and for everything that I've accomplished. I am very, very grateful for every person that I've met in the physical form and online, for those of us that keep up with each other and just talk to each other. It's nice to feel seen. It's nice to be spoken to. It's nice to be loved. It's nice to be cared for. Anyways, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to go and enjoy some coffee this morning. It is 9:16 right now, and I would like to get myself a coffee and maybe read a little. And then from there, I'm going to go home and just kind of do my thing for now, Just kind of do my thing. Shower, and we'll see. We'll see when I see you guys. I kind of just wanted to remind you how important movement is, how important things that are free are. Literally go take a walk whenever it is you're watching this. Happy Thanksgiving if you celebrate. I hope that you have really good food. I hope that you have really, really good food. Like whatever it is that you're craving, I hope that you have really good food. I hope that you have a great time. And I hope that you remember to let your hair down. Remember to let your hair down. That's it. Don't try to prove a point to anybody. Don't try to tell your side of the story. Don't try to make others think how you think, or try to control a narrative anywhere. Time is going to be your best friend with everything. So just relax, have fun, have more fun. Say yes more often, have more fun. Have more fun. Have fun today. Whenever you're watching this, take a breather. Tell somebody you love them. Hug somebody tight. Tell somebody you miss them. Tell somebody you want to see them. Take risks. Be courageous. Be brave. This is the only life you get. Be grateful for where you're at and be grateful for who's around you. And I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.